get you out of the danger. It's okay. Hold on tight. There's crickets here. There you go. Oh no, there's a lot of ants in there too. Come here. Sorry, I put you in the wrong spot. Come here. Come over here. There you go. You'll be okay. There's ants off here, they're everywhere. Darn ants. Is that better? There you go. Don't let that ant pick on you. Sorry, I'm looking at him and there he is. He's been pretty beaten by the ants, but I can't see any on him anymore, so there's one or two on the grass. I can't kind of help him any more than I have. It'd be very sore from being bitten by a lot of ants. He was fighting them before, but he's sort of given up his fight at the moment. But he'll be right. Look, I'll leave this little plant tab next to him, and I'll come and check on him later. I wanted to talk about points of I don't know what the technical names of these things are, but in any one point you have it separates into two. It's this like duality, the positive and negative of the magnets, you know. Oh my gosh, there's another creature here. Can you see? It's a caterpillar. So we have 2 points. Good morning. And those points are constantly, you know, talking to each other and moving. So those points flux and come together, expand and come together. And if you kind of think of it like a rubber band, I'm going to move over to the plants because there's a lot of noise just there from the crickets. So it's a French yellow marigold that you're looking at right now. So if you can think of an elastic band or a rubber band or a hair scrunchie or something, and it can be in multiple states, but the 2 end points is, you know, the rubber band being really, really stretched and taut, and then it'll ping back to the relaxed state. And energy works the same. At the moment, it's very chaotic, and that's a really good thing because the less in harmony the movement of the 2 points are. So the 2 points can be anything. It could be your mood, or what's happening with you, what's happening with the world. You know, plants, they grow and go into, they're all conscious. This is consciousness. This flower is conscious, and it's different consciousness to the plant. Sometimes the flower will turn into fruit or seed to be reborn, or to be, you know, shared. It doesn't hurt the plant for you to eat the fruit or the flowers. You can eat these flowers. They're very good for you. They might not taste too fantastic, but if you take the petals off, you can put the petals on your salad, which makes it really, really pretty. And you can also dehydrate the petals and grind them up and use them for food colouring or clothing dye. And these marigolds, they doesn't matter what type of marigold it is, they kind of bring good bugs, good bacteria and things. Well, not bacteria. I've been in deep meditation, so I'm a little bit lost in my words, and it's very early. I don't know what Doo's doing. Those points are like, you know, going all over the place now, and the more chaotic they are, the more likely they are to just instantly stop and sit in a suspended state of being. And we have been moving towards a state of just reaching that high point where the chaos calms down. I don't know if any of this is making sense. There's another bug. It's a centipede. And that is a ginger shoot and a tiny little mushroom. Did you know that underneath the ground, the mushrooms, the mycelium of the mushrooms, is it mosquito on my finger? The mycelium of the mushrooms, as well as the root of the plants, they go under the ground and they communicate with each other. There's this whole network under the ground. Everywhere you put your foot, you are standing on networks, and they communicate to each other about the rain, about energy, about, a baby plant will talk to its host parent plant, will send it nutrients if it needs it, if it's going to be drier, or they look after each other like family, because they are family, right? And just because we don't understand their consciousness and their way of being, which is very advanced, if you think about how advanced we are, these guys are pretty highly advanced, and we don't have the networking and communications that they have. So we're going to be held back, and that's what I'm trying to portray about the points and the elasticity of those points and how they fluctuate. For some reason we haven't been, stretched out in that state when we've been wanting to ping back to a quieter state. This is ginger and tomatoes. That quieter state, the more centered, aware, awake, in connection with state has been has been sort of kind of halted and left in a chaotic state for some reason. The normal evolvement of any being, any species, is that ebb and flow of those 2 points. So one being stretched so far has to, by the law of the universe, to come back into a positive, functioning, workable harmony. And that harmony can be, you know, very high consciousness. You don't really have too much say in the matter once there's chaos going around and things are out of whack, because at some stage they're just going to be pushed so far that they have to this is time. It was a little bit sad, but it's coming back. That was Hank. He's a rainbow lorikeet that we looked after. He was very, very unwell. He couldn't fly or walk. He kept falling over all the time, but that's a different story. It's just the birds you can hear are birds that have been in the they live here in the house. That's mint. So those points are meant to sort of ebb and flow and you know, do a nice dance between each other to generate movement and form and all these things we don't quite understand. And that's just normal basil. I'd very much like some seeds for the white sage, so I can grow it and make some smudge sticks. But it seems to be a little bit hard to get over here in Australia. The stuff I'm telling you is, I know I'm not the most educated person on the subject, but this is what we have to do. We have to be brave, and we have to try and share the knowledge we know with as many people as we know in different ways, so that more and more people can understand it and start sharing information about it as well, because it's all been hidden from us. And the people in the higher positions, the more educated positions, the positions that they either know or they don't know, a lot of people don't know about this stuff. They could be in a really, really high position and not know about this stuff, or they might know about this stuff and there is legitimate threats against their lives because they can't talk about it, and it's for us to talk about and explore and discover. And if you have any questions, like, ask me, because I know quite a lot, and I've known quite a lot for a really long time. It's just that I didn't know everybody else knew, or other people knew it was common knowledge, and I didn't know it was being held back from people and kind of stunting our evolution as a species. So if you want to know something on the bigger realms and the things that are sort of affecting us, like, I can think about it, I can look into the records, and I can see if I can answer your questions or explain it better. This is Thai basil. So at the moment I'm just sort of talking about the things that come to me as they come to me. I am educated. I did go to university, but because I'm unwell, I kind of have trouble pulling my thoughts together and saying something in a comprehensive way. And this is like the issue that we have, is the people who do talk about it, the people who know about it, the people who are doing these, using these higher consciousness sciences, that is just everyone's birthright and shouldn't be. We should be teaching our children when they're babies to meditate and to be calm and centered, and instead, they're just in this chaotic world, and you kind of see as your children grow up how really defective the system is. And it's not for humanity's thrive and benefit really at all. We work, until we drop, and it's just not okay, and it's been like this way for so long. That's why the chaos is happening. That's why it's so crazy. That's why everything's going crazy, because it forces a point of suspension, because you can't have one without the other. But it's a higher suspension. It's a suspension that we want. It's a suspension that's been, I don't know if suspension is the right word, but you kind of, all the atoms are suspended and they stop moving. They're moving, but they're moving on a subtler level and a less violent level. And we've been on a more violent level, and I don't mean like physically attacking each other, it's just the movement of the atoms, if you want to call them that, the energy points. It's just that rule that you can't have one thing without the other thing. So you can't have mass chaos and things not reaching the points and milestones that they naturally would meet. And the reasons why we're not meeting those points, I think, is because we keep going to war. And I think I've said this before, I might not have, but if you look into the history, every time there's been a war, if you look right back to the very beginning, they were all very peaceful. Yes, there was trouble brewing above them, but I don't want to get too much into wars, because it's counterintuitive to my purpose. And it's been, expressed a hell of a lot. You can go look anywhere for that. But just remember those, if you can look at it through the science of things, the world doesn't seem so difficult or awful or hard or dark. And I know there's a lot of really sad people, because the earth herself is sad, and there's just so much harm, and we can just take solace in this time of chaos, and know that very, very soon it's going to suspend, and we'll be in the place that we need to be consciously through, our own human involvement. And our children and our children's children are going to live in a completely different world to this, and a better world. Okay, it's not scary. It's a natural involvement. It's a good thing. It's a natural thing, and it's a good thing, and they'll be free. We're not paying for water anymore. We'll stop paying for water. It's ridiculous that we pay for water. The whole system is a really bad way. There's a lot of people in the medical system that are just stuck in the medical system, and we need to be a bit more, allow ourselves to be a bit more like that ginger. That ginger and that little mushroom there, that's called harmony. The connections are there, their roots are connected. There's a whole network under there, and that little mushroom's been a little beacon to make sure everything's good. And broken down for that ginger plant, the mushroom pulls up all their death nutrients and converts them for the plants in the ground and the underground network. yeah. So I hope that was informative. If there's something I can tell you about or tell you more about, I will do my best to tell you. Until then, I'll just tell you things as they come to me. Like I said, I do have trouble holding on to information, so if I can get my phone quick enough and record it, then, you know, hopefully I'll send these messages out so you can understand them, understand how the world works, and understand, you know, the concept of human evolution and planetary evolution, and just, you know, evolution of everybody and everything. It's not a scary thing, it's a thing to be embraced, and go with the flow and try to, you know, do your best to understand that it won't go on forever. It's gone on forever already, and, you know, it's time for a really big change, and that's happening, and that's what all the panic's about, and that's what all the chaos is about, because we don't, some don't want us to evolve and change, and we really, really do want that. So I'll leave you with this beautiful yellow. That's the normal colour of the mulberry leaves, which are really good silkworm food. And there's a really pretty yellow one to change. I think that demonstrates change really well. It's not a bad thing. Okay. Namaste.